Hi, everybody. Welcome to Google Classroom. I hope you have a chance to kind of play around with it and see how it works. I'm sure some of your other teachers are using it too, so it should be an easier format for most of you. We are going to be starting a new topic in math. It's still under interest, but we're going to be working with compound interest. We've been doing a lot with simple interest that you guys are doing an incredible job on. So that'll help you with this next section. So I think about compound interest. The first thing we want to think about what exactly it is. We know with simple interest, that was just telling us if we borrowed $100 at 5% interest for a year, we took it out for a year, we could figure out how much we would owe by multiplying the principal times the rate times the time. And if all of you take a minute to do that now, I'm sure we would come up with the same fee, which would be about $105. Compound interest is something different. Now, when compound is a new word for us, and when we think about compound, you think about something being added on top of something else. You're compounding it. You're putting more on top, okay? Sometimes you'll hear interest on interest, but the formula is different than what we're used to using. So an example would be you borrow $100 at 5% compounded annually. So that means every year they're going to add 5% on. So how that looks is something like this. So your initial borrowing rate or amount you borrowed is $100 at 5%, which is the decimal 0.05 times 1 year. So after a year, you would owe $105. You'd be paying them back. The next year, however, you're going to start with $105 at the same rate, and you're going to owe $110.25 after 2 years. If you take 3 years to pay them back, your principal is now $110.25. So for another year, they're going to add on the 1.5%. So the total you're going to owe is $115.26. So what's changed is the principal amount from each year. If you look carefully, the principal amount of year 2 is coming from the total at the end of year 1. The principal amount at year 3 is coming from the ending amount at year 2. So when we go back and look at the formulas, the first formula, which we know and been using, is interest equals principal times rate times time. P is a principal, the amount you're taking out or borrowing. Rate is a percentage rate, and remember we always convert that to a decimal. When you convert it to a decimal, you move the decimal point 2 places to the left to get your decimal. Time is the amount of time you have it out. That's for simple interest. When we get to compound interest, A is the amount. So your total amount, is going to be equal to the principal times 1 plus the rate raised to the time. So that means an exponent. The T is an exponent. Don't worry about it yet, because right now it's going to be simple and the exponent's always going to be 1. We will get more complicated later on. So if we look at it, we see that we have 100 hold on guys, and you're going to multiply 100 times 1 plus 0.05, so 100 times 1.05. And that will give you the compounded rate. So let's look at this example. We have Simon deposits $400 in an account that pays 3% interest compounded annually. Every year, 3% is going to be added on. What is the balance of Simon's account at the end of 2 years? So we're going to work on both simple and complex interest right now. I want you to take a minute and solve the simple interest, 400 times 0.03 times 2, and get a total. And then we're going to work on the compounded interest. So our formula is A equals P times 1 plus the rate raised to the time. The time here, because it's compounded annually, that means it's every year, so it's 1. So we start with 400. times 1.03 raised to the first power. At the end of the first year, it would be $412. The second year, our principal is $412 times 1.03. It still is compounded annually, so it's only raised to the first power. But at the end of the second year, you're going to owe $424.36. For the third year, you're going to start off with a principal of $424.36 times 1.03, and at the end of 3 years, you will owe $437.09. So that's just an introduction to compound interest. I will be giving you assignments later on, but I wanted you to look at this video first so we can talk about it. This week, I'm not giving you any assignments except to respond to the question in the Google Drive. This is a whatever I need week, so I want you to really think about what you need to work on. You can access Khan Academy. Those of you who have Prodigy Math logins, that's fine. You can do that. If you don't have one and you're interested, I can send you one. I think, Izzy, you mentioned you might be interested, and I don't think I sent you that login yet. You can go to Mathia. If there's any work that you need to catch up on in math that you haven't submitted me, please do. I know some of the forms are hard if you don't have a scanner to submit. If you would want to take a photo of it on your camera and send me the picture of it through Google, share it with me, that's fine too. But that's all I have to say right now. You guys keep it up. Don't get frustrated. We miss you so much at school. It's boring here without you guys. Go ahead, email us, the teachers, anytime you need anything. If you haven't logged on to Google Classroom, please do and get in there. If you haven't been able to join a meet, I think I've seen most of you at some point or another, but we do have another one scheduled on this Sunday. So during your class time, I think I scheduled it at 9:30 or 10, I'm not sure, but you should be getting an invite through that as well. So that's it, everyone. Bye. Have a great weekend. Don't be stressed. Okay? Bye.